This car thief. I've been stuck in this car for 4 days. Within 4 days, the owner remotely controls the car. He was tortured to death. A few days ago, the thief stared at a van on the side of the road. He skillfully smashed the car lock with a tennis ball. The most valuable central control system was quickly removed, but I just wanted to go. The door could not be opened. He tugged at the handle, but the 4 doors did not move. At this moment, a passerby happened to pass by. He was so frightened that he quickly hid under the steering wheel. Calm down. He pulled out the wrench in the trunk. Smash at the windshield. But this car seems to have been modified. No matter how bad it is, not even a crack appeared. He opened the door again. I want to unlock manually, but there are barbs in the door. Just cut his arm. Even the chassis under the footpad. They were also replaced with thick steel plates. It seems that all this is carefully planned. He was a little flustered. Straight out the pistol, aimed at the windshield. The car window was replaced with bulletproof glass. Then a woman came over. Make up against the glass. I didn't seem to see him at all. He immediately clapped the door and shouted, but the woman didn't respond. Go straight. Only then did he realize that this car is not only covered with reflective film, it also has sound insulation treatment, like an unbreakable chamber of secrets. He quickly took out his mobile phone for help, but the cell phone was out of power. It seems that he can only wait to be caught. Until the next day, the owner didn't show up either. The water is long gone. The stuffy carriage choked him. He installed the central control system back, played a piece of music, start hitting the door with a wrench. At this time, the car phone rings. It's the car owner. He said the car had been stolen 28 times. He can't stand it. Converted this car into a cell, just to get revenge on these thieves, and he can remotely control the door lock. Hearing this, the thief shouted abuse. The owner hangs up directly. Then I turned on the air conditioner. A cool wind is blowing. At last he felt a little more comfortable. Suddenly, the air conditioner is automatically adjusted to the highest level. No matter how he twists it, the cold wind is blowing out. Soon, he began to shiver all over. He quickly covered the air conditioner with a foot mat, plugged the air outlet with waste paper, but the temperature inside the car is still dropping sharply. How long has it been? The air conditioner is finally turned off. At this time, he did not know. The torture behind is even more painful. When this man stole the car, trapped in the car, after 24 hours, the water is long gone. He counted all the equipment, put some yellow liquid in a plastic box. He swallowed the drink. Then a policeman came over. He immediately clapped the glass and cried for help. The police did not respond. At this time, the owner called again. As long as he says his ID number, give him water to drink. A thief who has been thirsty all day. Without thinking about it, he gave out a series of figures. The owner asked him to look in the trunk. Sure enough, there was half a bottle of water. On the third day, his wound began to inflame. I learned that the thief had a fever. The owner immediately turned on the warm air remotely, plus the hot weather. The temperature inside the car began to rise sharply. The thief fainted directly from the heat. It rained heavily in the evening. He hasn't eaten for 3 days. Tear off a piece of paper and put it in your mouth. At the moment, he was very sorry. You shouldn't have stolen this car. At this time, a colleague came over, start prying the door, but he didn't have time to be happy. The thief was found by 2 warm-hearted passers-by. Press it on the ground and catch it. When the police arrived, the thief is almost dead. He seemed to see his destiny. Morning of the 4th day, the owner called again. The thief was too hungry to speak. The owner told him, there is a chocolate bar behind the brake. That's how he tortured the thief. It turned out that his car had been stolen 28 times. Not long ago, he had a terminal illness. So, before dying, take revenge on these thieves. The 5th day, the iron gate was finally smashed into a small hole, but the hole is too small. I can't hear you outside. In desperation, he refitted the batteries that had been in the sun for 4 days, used the remaining electricity to call the family. But I didn't wait for the phone to connect. The phone is turned off again. At this time, the car phone rings again. The owner passed his ID number, found his home address. The car owner sent $100,000 to the thief's wife, falsely claiming that the thief won the prize, not coming back for the time being. It seems that the owner is not going to let him go. The 5th day, trapped in the car, he tried to press the start button. The car even started, but only in reverse gear. He fastened his seatbelt at once, slammed on the accelerator and ran back. Under great impact, the bulletproof glass finally broke. He hasn't eaten in 5 days. Run into a supermarket, grab a hamburger and gobble it down. But the security guards treated him like a tramp. Hungry, he took out his pistol. He woke up with a start. He's still trapped in this unbreakable van. At this time, the owner called again. He begged the car owner to let him go. Otherwise, commit suicide immediately. But the car owner doesn't care about his life. He pulled the trigger with a cruel heart, but the pistol jammed. This moment, the thief really regretted it. The owner asked him to raise his head. A middle-aged man was standing in front of the car, so he is the owner. Watching the thief being tortured so miserably, the car owner has been stolen 28 times in a row. Sweep away. At this time, the owner's mobile phone rings. The thief took advantage of his answering the phone. He fired a shot at me, but it just scraped his face. The owner immediately chased him down. Catch a thief. Soon, a large number of police and journalists arrived, and all the onlookers. No one blamed the car owner. Instead, Clap your hands. It turns out that the security environment here is extremely poor. Almost all the residents nearby have been stolen. They have long hated these thieves to the bone. An old lady. They even sent supper to the car owners. Helpless, the police had to call in a negotiator. He learned that the owner is a doctor. Life is not only approachable, he also has a strong sense of justice. His friends and colleagues like him very much. The negotiator advised him, let the young thief go. He has learned his lesson. I understand the owner's anger, but kill this thief. The world will not change. At this time, some people began to make noise. Call the driver to kill the thief. The owner hesitated. At the critical moment, the negotiator said calmly, maybe death is for thieves. On the contrary, it is a relief. But since then, he will bear the burden of killing. Finally, the owner released the thief, and he himself smiled and sat in the car. We can pursue justice in our hearts. However, such unjust means are absolutely unacceptable because it was a farce. There is no way to change the entire security environment. But I believe this lesson enough to save the young man who failed.